Slamdown Podcast is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam, the wrestling game YouTuber. To see his videos on YouTube, search YouTube Body Slam, capital N and Jam, or to follow him by Twitter, it is at Body Slam, capital N, Jam. Welcome to another episode of Slamdown. Today we're going to be covering everything Raw. For me, with being how good Survivor Series was, and you know, Survivor Series, it gave me chills. For Raw to be after that phenomenal pay-per-view, Raw did feel meh. But I don't think that was actually Raw's fault. I think where the pay-per-view was that good, it's hard to match that. But except for that, compare it to the last previous Raws, it was pretty good. You know, I liked that they added a bit of slapstick in. But let's start off with Goldberg declaring for the Royal Rumble. From the way they're doing this, it looks like it's going to be Goldberg winning the Royal Rumble, to be honest. I know there's information that's just come out recently that Brock Lesnar is also going to be in the Rumble. Because the way I feel they're going to do it, they're going to lead Goldberg to go for the title at WrestleMania. And I think that's what they're going to go with. But I don't think they're going to use Goldberg to give someone else the rub, to have Goldberg lose at WrestleMania. I think they're going to go for Goldberg to win, have the title, stay for a little while, and then leave. That's the way it seems to me, and the way they're portraying it. If you have different views, don't forget to comment. Also, people watching this, you can comment now as we're live, and I do see the comments, read the comments, and will reply. But I know a lot of people have been moaning, saying, oh, he's an older guy, blah, blah, blah. What you got to realise is, at the moment, and this is no offence to the current people on the roster, but there isn't the excitement with the talent as there was back then. You know, when it's like, when you see The Undertaker, it's like, oh my God, it's The Undertaker. Or, wow, Bill Goldberg. Or, oh my God, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's no one on the current roster that gets that kind of excitement. I know AJ Styles gets a big cheer, but there isn't those matches where you're like, oh my God, I'm glued. It's hard to explain. You know, for people that haven't watched the old era, it's hard to explain to you what it was like then. But then saying that, if you've got the WWE Network for $9.99, I had to do a Michael Cole then, you can watch the old era. But there seems to be that little something missing. But to see Goldberg declare for the Royal Rumble has got me excited. It makes me believe, what else are we going to see? It's also with Scott Steiner tweeting about him not being in the video game. I know Scott Steiner wasn't allowed to be associated with the WWE due to the ongoing thing with Hulk Hogan, but as Hulk Hogan is not with the company at the moment, to me, I think it could be a perfect opportunity to do a surprise at the Royal Rumble, have Goldberg in the ring, and and then have Scott Steiner come down, even if it's just for the Royal Rumble only. You know, to have those two people that were former WCW wrestlers stare down at each other would be perfect fit. And also, you know, when they had, was it Legends of Wrestling, when they had Scott Steiner versus RVD and Goldberg came and helped RVD and Scott Steiner as well. It just makes perfect sense. But going on for that, we saw Enzo Amore banging on the door saying, Kaz, it's not funny. Where's my clothes? And you saw him walk naked. Well, you didn't see him walk not naked. They pixelated the, as Vince would say, the giant cojones. They pixelated that, so you just saw him walking down the corridor, walking past Lorna, and you could see by her eye contact, keep looking down and trying to look at him. And then Rusev came, wasn't too happy, and which led to a match later in the show. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was a good way of doing something different, doing something funny, you know, engaging the fans, you know. And you could see, you know, compare Big Kaz and Menzo Ore like to a real life friendship. You do things like that to each other. So, do you know what I mean? It just suited him well. After that, we had the Raw Tag Team Champions, The New Day, against Cesaro and Sheamus. Right. I hate to be a damper on The New Day, but I would hate for them to beat the Road Warriors. Or, as people, the Demolition title reign. Please don't do it. Please do not let New Day beat that record. The only team that I would have been happy to beat that record would be a team like the Dudleys. Or even a team like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Please, please not the New Day. I don't want the WWE record books to look New Day as the longest holding tag team champions. No, just don't. That's like giving John Cena the title and then him beating Ric Flair's record. Don't do it. Just no. But they got the defeat on Cesaro and Sheamus. See, I'm getting tongue twisted today. It was a good match. It's alright. There's not much more I can say this. Right. I know I've talked about the Cruiserweight division a lot, and I'm going to talk about it again. One of my biggest pet peeves is random matches. They've put Alexander against Daivari, and I'm annoyed that WWE are doing the same thing they always do with a foreigner. People who don't know, this is Daivari's actual younger brother. They're making him exactly the same as his older brother, Daivari. Why? Just why? Why can't you come with something new or do something different? Why do you have to be stereotypical? But anyway, another random match. No real reason for this match. No really heat between them. No angle between them. No story between them. Just thrown together. It's just, why'd you do it, WWE? Why'd you throw people for no reason? Do you think the fans just like random matches? Do you think we enjoy it as viewers? Do you hate the Cruiserweights? Just, the hell are you doing? Yes, when you get the high flying and everything, it's brilliant. But you've got to have something to back it up. This is why I was so hoping that these wrestlers, the Cruiserweights, were going to be moved to SmackDown, because I thought, they're going to move them to SmackDown, do it the right way, but no. But then, what people seem to forget is SmackDown has still got the 3 drafts. As the main match, they can draft 3 wrestlers from Raw. So technically, they could do that and get Brian Kendrick on SmackDown with the Cruiserweight title. You know, Baron Corbin might have messed it up at Survivor Series, but they could do that. There's a possibility in that. Let's go more through Raw. We had the Rusev versus Enzo Amore match. I don't know I get why they made the match, but you know, a big guy against Enzo Amore, we already know Enzo Amore is going to lose, which he did. But Big Kaz flew into the ring, didn't look too happy, so I wonder if next week we're going to have Rusev versus Big Kaz. We had the club. I don't call them Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They should just be the club. And I'm just hoping they get drafted to SmackDown. But anyway, defeat the Golden Truth to become #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Another thing, I don't really like the Golden Truth. It's nothing because of the gimmick. It's because I'm used to seeing R-Truth busting moves and doing amazing matches. And it feels like he's just become a jobber. Same with Goldust. They're just, I lose this one, lose that. I know people don't like the word jobber, but it's still... That's how it feels to me. As punishment for Sami Zayn losing at Survivor Series, Mick Foley and Stephanie said he's got to have a punishment. And he will be facing Braun Strowman. Now, Braun Strowman looked like an absolute beast. Completely destroyed Sami Zayn to the point where Mick Foley had to come down and end the match. But where do you go from here with Braun Strowman? One thing I've been wondering, is Big Show going to come back at some point to have a match with Braun Strowman? You know, and have Big Show lose to give Braun Strowman, in the other words, the rub. After that, we had Sasha Banks and Bayley taking on Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. Now, I was worried about this match. Main reason because of the way Nia Jax is built. I thought it was going to be Charlotte and Jax win. But no, they didn't. They actually gave Banks and Bayley the rub to win. I don't know why I said rub then, but hey ho. And it was a good match. It was a surprising match. I just know it's going to lead to another Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, which I'm getting bored of. Yes, they're both brilliant athletes and put on amazing matches, but you can't just hit the repeat pattern non-stop. You know, you can't just keep repeating something. We want something different. We want something new. You know, this angle needs to finish. Because it used to be they'd build up an angle on the shows, and then they would build it up to the pay-per-view, it'd have the match, it would finish, and then they'd move on. But that's not happening. They seem to keep repeating and repeating. It's like, same thing with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, it's carrying on and on and on and on. It's the only downfall for me. Now we had Rich Swann, against TJ Perkins and Noam Dar. Right, I know this is a #1 contender match, but they're all good guys and there's no heat between them. So, same thing as I said earlier. I like Noam Dar. I've seen him in ICW, phenomenal athlete, and I think it's good they're not putting the title on him straight away. They're letting him build. I did actually thought TJ Perkins was going to win this, but they put Rich Swann over, which I liked. I thought that done brilliantly. It's a good match. You know, my same points. I can't stand why I did the purple thing and everything else. A little thing I missed. When the highlight reel with Chris Jericho made it look like he was unhappy with Kevin Owens, and this was all a ploy. And then they were saying it was Roman Reigns, right? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins come out and attacked. Said he had a promise by Steph, and Mick Foley confirmed that it would be Kevin Owens against Seth Rollins. In a no DQ match, Jericho and Roman Reigns were banned from ringside. Brilliant. That match gave me the Ring of Honor feel, where Kevin Owens is capable of those type of no DQ matches, and it's just like, wow. It was brilliant. We got tables get smashed, chairs being used, fighting in the crowd, the high spots from Rollins. It was brilliant. And for me, the only thing that would have topped that off, if it ended in clean victory, and then they could end the Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins thing, because Mick Foley can say, no. You had your chance, you lost. But no. Chris Jericho comes down wearing a Sin Cara mask in the crowd and attacks Seth. But Seth managed to grab the mask, pull the mask off, and shows it's Jericho. Kevin Owens attacks him, hits him with the powerbomb on the ring, rolls him in, gets the pin. Another little thing I noticed, I could tell this was a little dig at Sin Cara. I don't think it was a good idea for Jericho to wear the Sin Cara mask. You're meant to calm the situation down between them, what with the incident that happened on the bus, not inflame it. I didn't really like that part. But if I had to give Raw a rating out of 10, it did improve, so I've got to take that and consider. Cruiserweight is going to knock it down a bit, so I'd say 3 out of 5. That's what I'm going to have to give to Raw at the minute. I'm looking forward to seeing SmackDown tomorrow. I would actually say people to watch Raw. You might want to fast forward a few bits, but to me, I found it brilliant. But that's it for Slam Down. We will be back tomorrow with the SmackDown Live, where I will go through everything SmackDown. Little update for people. We are looking at someone to compose an intro for our live stream. I'm in talks with someone at the moment. Hopefully I'll keep you updated on Twitter when it be ready. But don't forget, and I've just noticed on this video stream that the Twitter is wrong. We're not Slamdown PC anymore. We're actually Slamdown Live on Twitter. Or you can go to our website, which is slamdown.co.uk. So big thanks to everybody listening. When this video ends, don't forget you can still comment. I will reply. Let's hear your views on what you thought of Raw. So I'll see everybody tomorrow with SmackDown talk.